So this weekend was the fourth biggest weekend in domestic box office history as Barbie made 160 million and Oppenheimer made 80.5 million. So in a summer where most of these blockbusters has not done well, Barbie and Oppenheimer basically saved the season. Guardians of the Galaxy that did really well, but The Flash was a disaster. Indiana Jones was a disaster. I like Fast X, but it didn't make as much money as it should have. And even with the latest Mission Impossible, it had great reviews, but it hasn't made as much money as people thought. So what's the problem? The problem is way too many sequels. It's hard for me to believe that in Hollywood that they constantly just hire people who just want to come up with sequels. Let's do this sequel. Let's do that sequel. Why? It's time to listen to the consumer. The consumer basically tells you what type of films they would like to see. Now, I get it. Hollywood is in the business of making money, right? But is it really smart business to spend $300 million, $400 million on a film and that only makes 200 million, 300 million? I mean, let's be honest. Who exactly wanted another Indiana Jones film? Harrison Ford is great. That franchise, especially the first three films, brilliant. But no one was asking for that, right? Even with the Fast X movies, wonderful films, fun films. 10 is a lot. It's a lot with not too much the clear division of how things usually work in the films, because it basically is just Vin Diesel talking like this and talking about family and racing cars. There's a little story tweaks here and there, but it's basically the same thing. So what should Hollywood do? Well, one, after the writer strike and and actor strike, maybe fire some of these CEOs because they clearly don't have any bright ideas. Now, unfortunately, some of these guys are more beholden to the board than to creativity, so they might actually keep their jobs. So fine, if you can't fire the CEOs, then fire the people underneath you, VPs, presidents, because Hollywood needs people who actually understand cinema. Hollywood needs people who says, you know what, we could do this sequel, but let's try this idea. Let's try this book adaptation. Let's try this independent filmmaker who has a lot of bright ideas. It shouldn't be that hard, right? Or if they don't want to fire anybody, here's a novel idea, Hollywood. Listen to your fan base. Just do questionnaires. When people go to a movie, have a questionnaire and ask them what type of films would you like to see. And you know what? You might find some really great ideas. And guess what? These CEOs and VPs will make tons of money because they look like geniuses when all they did was talk to the movie fan.